So let me just run through what I'm expecting in case you're, and if that answers your questions, great. If you still have questions on any of this after that, we can answer them now. So you leave here with no questions and you can tackle this. Okay, so here's what I'm expecting. Let's see. You have these two inequalities, right? What you should be doing is in this space right here, you're going to rewrite these inequalities. Do the math so that each of these inequalities that are in standard form here eventually will be in something like this. Y is greater than negative 2x. I'm just off the top of my head. Plus 8. Something like that. Okay? You end up with something in slope-intercept form that can be graphed and shaded. Okay? And you're going to have to do that for both of these. Okay? Now, so down here, you're going to draw your lines or dotted lines and shade it. And some people did ask me a very good question over the break on the shading. They said, do I want to see only the shading for the solution or all the shading and show where the overlap is? Either way is okay. As long as I know this shading here is the solution. So at some point, I should see maybe a line like this and say a line like this and say this is the solution. The solution would have, say, both colors. But if you include the shading from the others, that's fine. Because, one might have been up and the other one would have been up. But you need to tell me, okay, the solution is this. Okay? You somehow you need to identify, if you shaded from both lines, and I know one of the lines should have been dotted and one should have been solid, sorry about that. I could hear someone thinking that. Show me the solution. But if you did only the shading for the solution, if that's the only shading you did, then you don't have to do that because that's the only shading that I'll. Now, the last part people have asked me on was how to check. So the check is actually not that bad. What you want to do is say this is our solution, okay? You pick a point within that solution region. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Say I pick 5, 3. Okay? Say that's the point I want to check because it's in the solution region. What you're going to have to do is you would go to the top. I know. Take your original inequality. So what is 4x plus 8y equals greater than or equal to negative 24? And you would and then work it out, show that that's a true statement. You want to have true for this one. And then go to the other inequality, the second one. Plug in 5, 3 for the second inequality. Work it out and show that it's true for that one. It has to be true for both. Is that clear? Okay. So after I've said my whole spiel here, any questions? Any other questions? Or any clarifying? Okay. All right. Well, remember, it's due today. If you have any other questions that come up, I will be checking my messages so that We can answer them. Hold on. I know. There we go. All right. So that's that. So now let's move on, or let's talk about our assignment for today. So our assignment for today is writing expressions from context. So we do need, it's a Delta Math assignment. You do need your Chromebooks. Go to Delta, please. Open up your Chromebooks. Oh, I forgot to mention, no questions on how to record either audio or video. I've noticed most people are doing audio, but that's fine, whichever you're more comfortable with. Some of you are doing video with like Screencastify. That's really nice. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'll go back to it. You would just attach the audio. You can do within the Cami. Oh, okay. You would attach the photograph of your work, and then you would also attach audio with the Cami. It's all through the Cami. Okay, guys. We're gonna do 5 examples. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna build up to something. We're gonna start today where we're gonna read a word problem, see what the question asks, and then write an expression. We're gonna write an expression. Eventually, like tomorrow, we're gonna write an inequality. Then the next day, we're gonna write a system of equations. Then we're going to write a system of equations and solve it. And eventually, we're gonna write a system of inequalities and solve that. But it's all from context. So let me show you what that is. Here we have an example. Okay, so rather than having you write a lot, we're just going to do the examples here. And if you need to look at examples, just go back to this assignment, go to the examples, and you'll have this. Okay, so everybody here, let me just take a quick walk around. Everybody open up example number 1. All right. So let's get started. It says a school needs to buy new computers and desktop computers. A school needs to buy a new notebook and desktop computers for its computer lab. The computers, the notebook computers cost $375, and the desktop computers cost $325. How many computers total would someone buy if they get 18 notebooks and 11 desktop computers? And how many total computers would someone buy if, hold on, I'm going to try this. You're going to have to. Okay, guys, so it's asking how many total computers would someone buy if they get N notebooks and D desktops? Okay, so first of all, there's going to be 2 types of things we're going to be answering. Either how many or how much. How many or how much. These questions are asking how many. Do you see that? How many total computers? And then here as well. They're asking us how many. So first it says total computers, 18 notebooks and 11 desktops. So how would we get that? If we want to get the total, add them. Yeah. 18 plus 11. So we're looking at what? 29. So 29. Okay. That's now we're going to abstract it. Then they asked, how many total computers would someone buy if they get N notebooks and D desktop computers? Okay, that's different, right? How would we write that with N and D? N plus D. Okay, that's our expression. Let's try it. So 29, 18 plus 11. And when they give us variables to represent those quantities, it's N plus D. Okay, let's try it. There it is. Okay. Okay, so that asked us how many. Let's go on to the second example, example 2. I've never seen this name before written this way, but here's the second one. Chi finds some dimes and quarters in her change purse. How much money in dollars does she have if she has 12 dimes and 7 quarters? How much money in dollars does she have if she has X dimes and X and Y quarters? Okay, this is asking us how much. Okay, notice there. How much? In dollars. Okay, so let's stop and think. She has 12 dimes. Okay, so guys, what's the value of 1 dime in dollars? 10 cents. It's 10 cents. That's in cents. But how would you translate that into dollars? 0.10. So I'm going to help you so you can also get the expression. And how many of these dimes do we have? 12. Okay. In dollars, how much are the quarters? 0.25, right? And we have 7 of them. Okay? So let's see how much we have, because that's what we have to figure out first. So if we have 12 dimes, how much money do we have? And then 7 times 0.25, it's $1.75. Okay. And then that's a total of so here we're going to write $2.95. I don't think we need to put in the dollar sign. I believe we don't have to put in the dollar sign. That's the easy part. Good question. For the expression, we're going to go back to this. This is why I had you write it this way, or look at it this way at least. We replace 12 and 7 with X and Y. So this part would be 0.10x plus 0.25y. Okay. Do you see how we got that? That's why I wanted you to think of it in terms of that expression first with the money. Let's try it. Okay. Did it work? Okay. Success. Okay. So I want you to read over this one with me, please. And then ask yourself, are we asking how many or how much? How many or how much? Because that's going to be the big question we're going to be answering ourselves throughout the week. How many or how much? Jonathan finds some nickels and quarters in his change purse. How many? Who has a change purse anymore? That used to be, well, maybe you get. You know what a change purse is?
Yeah. It's those little smaller bags.
Yeah. In Spanish, you call it a monedero.
My
You know,
sister has one just for the.
Yeah, it's a little baggy, a little something to hold your change. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, a change purse. Here we go. So, how many coins does he have if he has 12 nickels and 4 quarters? How many coins does he have if he has X nickels and Y quarters? Okay. Are we asking how many or how much? How many? It's going to say how many. So, how do we figure out how many if he has 12 nickels, 4 quarters?
We add the amount of coins.
So that's 16. Now, how many is actually easier to calculate all the time? Okay. How are we going to figure it out if we're talking about X dimes and Y quarters?
X plus Y.
Replace 12 and 4 with X and Y. Okay. So let's give it a whirl. All right. So let's look at this next question. Again, how many or how much? Let's find out. At the Natural History Museum, tickets cost $12 for adults, $4 for kids under 12. What would be the total cost for 3 adult tickets and 9 kids tickets? What would be the total cost for A adult tickets and K kids tickets? So they're using variables that are meaningful. Are we asking for how many or how much? Yeah. Yeah. They're saying it in a different way, but they're asking how much. This is definitely how much. So let's set it up. Think about how you would set it up with the numbers. Okay, so there's 3 adult tickets. How would we write the expression? 12 times 3. And then how about for 4 times 8? So let's see what that gives us. And that would be $68. So here, 68. Okay. Time to write that expression using A for adult tickets and K for kids tickets. Yes.
I was done with the examples.
Hmm?
And I went on to the other one and won't let me do it. I go straight to the example part.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to check. Which one are we on? We're on 4. So let me get to 5 and see what's going on. Okay. How would we write this one, guys? Replace 3 and 8 with
A and K.
K and A. So 12K plus.
12A.
Hmm?
It's 12A and 4.
Oh, yes. Thank you. 12A plus 4K. Okay. 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 So this is the last one. Example 5. Again, how many or how much? Read the problem. Is it asking for how many or how much? Yes.
For like problems with variables, is it like normal for them to have like the same letter but like one is capitalized and they'll still be different, or that's not a capitalization?
Like capital K and lowercase k?
Yeah.
If they're giving you that, yeah.
Oh no, not in this problem. It's just like
Oh, when you're making up your own?
no, like just like if there is a problem with like capital K and lowercase k be two different things.
Not necessarily. I mean, yeah. Usually it's descriptive, and especially in these. Like here, obviously, they're talking about grocery and nursery. So if they're are they asking for how many or how much?
How many?
You can usually hunt it down. Okay. So it's total hours. What would our total hours be? 13 plus 8. And that's how many? 21. And then if G is grocery hours and N is nursery hours, how would we write the expression there? G plus N. And that should take you to your first question that you have to answer on your own. Okay, I kept it light so that you can work on, if you need to, your assessment. Okay, so you only got to do 15 of these. You should be able to finish these in class. Okay, and continue working on your other assignments. Okay, all right, guys. If you have any questions, let me know.